game of the weekend in the National Football League happened on Sunday night, where you had the 3-0 Buffalo Bills traveling down to Baltimore to take on Jordan's Baltimore Ravens, right? So we had the conversation on Friday night of what Baltimore needed to do to defend home field. And Jordan made mention of we had to get back to running the ball, right? And he said that if they got back to running the ball, he would grace us on this Tuesday evening to come back and analyze how successful the Baltimore Ravens were. And if they were not successful, he was going to hide behind the camera and let me explain why his team took an L. But since they took that dub, ladies and gentlemen, Brother Jordan, welcome to the show. Man, how did y'all do what you did? Because King Henry was on something come Sunday night. He had to prove a point, right? And I don't think people were looking to tackle too much. Did you know King Henry still had top end speed of 22 miles per hour at 250 pounds?
Man, that's like a linebacker running, bigger than a linebacker back there. But nah, Ken Henry did his thing. The Ravens went back to what they do best, which is run the ball. That's their identity. I don't know what they were testing out in the beginning of the season, but we definitely look like we're back. Defense played well too, holding Josh Allen and their team to 10 points when they've been scoring, 30, 35, 40 points. So we were firing on all cylinders. And as a Ravens fan, it feels good. It's like that one. We've been waiting all season just to like feel this moment, and it does feel good. I will say that.
Man, you're absolutely right. And let us jump to the opposite side of the ball on what kept the Buffalo Bills from repeating what they have repeated or shown the rest of the league the first 3 weeks, which was the reason why Griff picked them by double digits. Right, at least 2 scores, if I remember correctly. So, Griff, why do you believe that Buffalo didn't have it? Was this a one-off, or did Baltimore stumble onto something and identify a strong run game against the Buffalo defense is the way to go for teams to have success?
I said it every week, man. If you can establish a running game, I don't care how good the opposing team offense is. If you're keeping them off the field. And hell, the Ravens, one person alone on the Ravens team had 199 yards rushing, whereas on the Buffalo side of the ball, this is where the youthness, and I guess I made a word up, but the youthness showed up as far as not having those key receivers and not being able to establish a running game. And what I will say, I like the way not only, everybody talk about Derrick Henry, but how they also incorporated Justin Hill into the in the play, man, because Hill was eating them up. He didn't have a lot of rushing yards, but he had a lot of yards out of the backfield. And so, when you can control the game and you can run like they ran that night, man, it really don't make a difference. What Buffalo was basically playing from behind from the whole time. And once you playing from behind, your whole game scheme changes. And so that's what happened to Buffalo. I don't think it's a big drop off with them. I still think this one game, based off how they played all the other games this season, I still just need to see something else. But that running game was the key factor in this game.
No, you're absolutely correct. And the success that Baltimore had on offense was what I expected them to have coming into this game, which was why I was so confident in picking them and would have been not only surprised but disappointed in the entire Baltimore organization if they had not defended home field. And in the interest of your personal safety, Sergeant Major Griffin, Sergeant Major Hughes advised that you do not walk out your hotel room wearing that headgear that you have on your head to ensure that your safety remains intact until you get out of the location that you are currently in.
I flew into Atlanta with Alabama gear on. I went out last night with Alabama gear on, and I'm gonna lead this joker tomorrow with Alabama gear on. They know.
We're gonna talk about that game a little later as well. But Baltimore made Jordan so very happy. Baltimore made Karen so very happy, and all of the other Baltimore Raven fans happy this past Sunday night because all of the fans knew this is the team that was 14-3 last year. this is the team that added one of the top 3 running backs still in the National Football League in the offseason. This is the team that should be 4-0, but we're going to take 2-2 until we get into that late November push, which is the real dividend for Derrick Henry, because you need him and Lamar healthy going into January. And that is the hope and the dreams of every Ravens fan. And if y'all have that, you will be the Super Bowl favorites heading into the playoffs, just like you were last year. We all know how that turned out. So congratulations to Baltimore. It was not a one-off for Buffalo, in my opinion. They did get exposed a little bit, but the offense is simply too good. Baltimore's defense really played with discipline. They really played with discipline, and in the sense to where they did not allow themselves to get burnt, as you mentioned earlier, with deep balls. They were on those receivers, not giving them any separation, and did their job. So kudos to Humphreys. Kudos to the safety. I forget his name.
Hamilton,
yes. And that front seven. So they did a phenomenal job. And good job to the coaching staff, because, you know, John Harbaugh is always good for throwing a monkey wrench into a perfectly good plan. But this should propel Baltimore to getting back on track, and I'm looking forward to see how their next 4 or 5 weeks play out if the injury bug does not bite them. Man, Jordan, congratulations, man. Y'all are back in the AFC North, especially with Pittsburgh losing. So you're only 1 game back, and this should be something for y'all to build off of. We're going to see, though, right?
Appreciate you
guys. To the Super Bowl. Cheddar Rob said they going to the Super Bowl. That you got Cheddar Rob?
I mean, hey, everybody can go to the Super Bowl as a fan, right? Along with the players that'll be in the stands with you. That don't mean y'all playing in the Super Bowl.
If you got the ticket money, they can afford a ticket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you. Hey, they make it to the Super Bowl. We shall see.